Hey y'all, it's Jess from Sunflower Dairy. So today, took a look at my tomato plants. They need some tying up. So I'm gonna go do that today. We have gotten some rain the past couple days, so a lot of times that's why tomatoes need to be tied up. So behind me is my tomatoes. So this poor little tomato plant, as you can see, this little one's just flopping over. So a lot of times I'll use cattle panel trellises or hog panel trellises, or just any kind of fencing that I have around the homestead. So here I have some old fencing. So as you can see, most of these are standing up pretty well, but this little one here is not doing so good. So I like to take twine. I have some twine here, and I'm just going to stand this little tomato plant up, and then I'm going to get it tied up there. I usually, once the tomatoes really get growing, I usually have to do this pretty often whenever we have a rainstorm or the tomatoes have a growth spurt. So first off, I just want to try to straighten out the tomato plant, and then I'm going to look for different elbows on the tomato plant where I can go ahead and tie it up without it going all over on the plant. So, and I just tie them up loosely. I give them quite a bit of room to grow and move around a little bit, because I don't want to tie it so tight that it breaks it or suffocates it or just gives it a hard time to grow. So I just loosely tie it up and try to straighten it out. I also want to check underneath to see if any of the leaves are having any kind of browning or anything, and if they are, I just want to go ahead and take those off, just because the sooner you catch any little bit of browning on the bottom of your tomato plant, the sooner you're going to catch some kind of disease that will try to take over your tomato plant. So catching that earlier, sooner than later, is best. And I know a lot of people in like really humid, really rainy climates, it's called single stemming their tomato plants. So they'll go through and they will clip any extra growth points or elbows or suckers that are on about a foot on the bottom of their tomato plant. So I don't do that though, because here it's pretty dry for the most part. Like I said, recently we have gotten some rain, but for a while we actually were in a little bit of a drought, but now we are getting some rain, so I do have to tie up, but I'm not dealing with really any type of disease or anything like that on the tomato plants. So for now, I'm just tying up these tomato plants just so they're not flopping over, so their stem's not breaking from them flopping all over the place. And it's best for the plant if you can try to keep up with this as much as possible, just so if the weight of the stem or the different parts of the plant start hanging over, then it could break it or snap it or stress it out. So it's really good to try to keep up on that. So Usually after we've had quite a bit of rain, I will come out here, take a quick walk around, and just check and make sure that everything is looking how it should. And if I have plants flopping over, then I go ahead and I tie them up just to make sure that they're going to be okay and not break off or anything. Alright, so it's a little wonky right now because it was flopped over, but it'll re-straighten itself out here. Also, it's best if you want to avoid disease and you are watering your plants, water from the bottom. Water down here on the bottom. You don't want to water above on top of your plant foliage, because that water, it will set on the plant foliage, and that's how you're going to start getting browning and anything that's going to it's going to invite bacteria and disease into that sitting on the plant. So to water from the bottom, that's going to be best for your tomato plants. Alright, I think I saw a little tomato, so I wanted to see if I could find that again and show you all. Let's see here. Aha! Little tomato. And this variety, let's see if I can find a tag under here. That is a chocolate pear. So that is an heirloom variety. So I've never grown this before, so I'm really excited to see how that's going to be. Alright, that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed day.